won't strip, right?
Right.
So who's giving you the money? Some man?
No.
Tell the truth. Where are you getting all this money?
You know, I live with my father.
Right.
And I'm very spoiled. I've been spoiled my whole life. And if I want something and I cry enough for it, my daddy gets it for me.
Oh, all right. Okay. You gave him oral?
No.
He gave you oral?
No.
Just the deed.
It was just like, real quick.
So your life is getting sadder and sadder. I didn't know this. You had a secret boyfriend who died in a car accident?
A secret?
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah, he died.
When did that happen?
August 2nd.
Of this year?
Yeah.
So you had a boyfriend that you never told me about.
All this time you were telling us you were in love with KC, you had a boyfriend.
Well, I mean, we were best friends since I was 17. We weren't seeing each other, and then it became more than that. And so I decided, okay, we'll go out. But I didn't really like him as much as I would someone else. But I cared for him. And then he died. So.
What kind of accident? A car accident?
Yeah. But I mean, I missed him the most because he was my bestest friend in the whole world.
Your bestest friend in the whole world?
Yeah.
And you never speak to your mother?
No?
You haven't spoken to her in, what, 6 months?
It's not my fault. I don't know how to call her if I wanted to.
Where is she?
I don't know.
Well, your mom and your dad aren't together.
No, they got divorced when I was 2 years old.
And your dad raised you?
No, my mom took care of me, and then I couldn't live with her anymore, so I moved in with my father when I was 14 years old.
I see.
And you're thinking about going to college, it said. How are you going to get into college?
I can get into college. I have straight A's.
And what?
I can show you my report cards.
Did you ever take the SATs?
I have to take. Yeah, actually, yeah. I've been taking my tests, but I have to take more tests to get into college. But I mean, I don't care about college. I just want to get into a college to say I got into a college. I don't care about doing it.
Oh,
I get it.
And
you know what I mean?
No.
Why bother?
What's 17 plus 19?
Oh, I don't know, Howard.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I mean,
How'd she get straight A's?
Yeah, I mean, what straight A's do you have?
Okay, because listen, I had homeschool, and with homeschool, you can use calculators.
Right.
And I could also pay people to do my work for me and then mail it in.
Oh.
So the guy who did your work for you did very well.
He could tell
That
you
was the guy that died.
That was the guy who died. No wonder he's your bestest friend. He's half your brain.
He was going to go to college for her.
Yeah.
No, he really cared about me. And
Right. But does it really count if you go to homeschool and then someone else does all your work? Maybe you should just go to home college.
I can do that, actually.
You can. All right. Well, maybe you'll do that. Now, sexually, nothing's going on with you, it says here. It says that you hate kissing now and you hate sex and you don't want it at all.
No.
It says here, right here. This is you talking.
Well, you know, I mean...
How are you going to be Miss Howard Stern when you hate sex?
Well, it says you don't like kissing or sex anymore. Tell me what's going on with you. Why don't you like it
maybe
anymore?
It just hasn't been with the right people.
You can't let those new enormous teeth go to waste.
Maybe the guys I was with were young and didn't know what they were doing. I don't know.
When was the last time you had...
Relations.
Let's see. 3 months ago.
3 months. Intercourse?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
That means all the way.
I didn't enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy it? How did it come about that you had intercourse 3 months ago? Who was the person?
Younger guy.
Younger guy. You met him somewhere? Where'd you meet him? One night stand?
He was my dentist.
No. He, we played golf together. He took me to the tanning bed.
He took you to a tanning bed?
Played golf.
We had a lot in common. And I mean, I liked the way he looked at me. He looked at me like he was younger, and he looked at me like, oh my God, I'll never have a girl like that. So I just liked the way he looked at me, so I tried it. I didn't like it because he was too young for me.
So he took you golfing, and then he took you to a tanning bed. And did he come into the tanning bedroom with you? No. He went to tanning with you. He tanned and you tanned. And then where did you go to have the sex?
his house.
His house.
It was horrible.
How old was the guy?
21.
21. And you disrobed in front of him, and I imagine with your beautiful body, he got very excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then you gave yourself to him.
Yeah.
You gave him oral?
No.
He gave you oral.
No.
Just the
did
deed.
It was just like real quick.
It was so quick, it was bad.
No, you know what? I didn't even want to do it. I don't even know why I did it.
Yes, Jessica.
Hi, I'm really turned on by Andrea. I have fantasies about her all the time, and I would love to see her in the chickle chair with Zolar tickling her.
That's Zolar.
Zolard wants to
Hey,
take
dude, I got some serious stories about her.
What do you got and what do you know?
Well, I'm out here in the green room, dude, man, so...
All right, come in and tell us.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Hey,
no.
On our way into the Howard Stern show to spill some beans on Miss Howard Stern. Okay.
I go in there, he's masturbating
Really?
on the side of her bed while she's laying there in her panties.
Hey, Zola, what are you, her manager now?
No, actually, I'm a good friend of hers, and she's been getting ripped off for years. So when I realized this, I went and I got myself a millionaire, and I got him to support everything that she needs to get done, like procure her website, get all of her naked pictures back that she did for Playboy.
Is that true? Zolar's helping you?
He's helped me some, yeah.
You going to give him sex?
No.
No, I'm married, dude.
No.
Oh, are you?
I got 3 kids.
Oh, I didn't know.
My wife thinks I banged her. She wants a divorce.
So you might as well bang her then.
Yeah, I might as well, but she won't let me bang her. I don't look like
I don't
Casey.
want
People tell me, though, you hate Zolar.
I don't hate him. I just, he gets on my nerves sometimes. I mean, doesn't he get on everyone's nerves?
Yes. What do you know, Zolar? What do you know about her?
Oh, I know everything about it, dude. What do you want to know?
Oh,
I'll
no.
tell you something right now. Any guy who wants to have sex with Andrea, go out and legally change your name, your first name to KC. I got a picture of a guy who had her
Yeah.
because his name's KC right here.
Is that true?
really?
You had sex with a guy because his name was KC?
No, that's not why.
Yes, it
It
is.
wasn't because of his name.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. He's crazy.
Hey, this girl here, she turns guys on so much, she's got to slip drugs in their drink to make them pass out so they won't have sex with her.
Is that true?
Dude, she slipped
He's
2 Klonopins and made this guy drink Jägermeister until he passed out unconscious. I thought he was dead.
No, those are my prescription, and he asked me for them.
Hey, dude.
So I found
What
this.
is going
no, listen.
on?
Let me tell you. I found this cute bartender, right?
His name is Dude.
He was cute, right? So I was like, okay, well, we can go on a couple days together, whatever. So every time we went on a date, 20 minutes after drinking, he'd be passed out on the floor.
Yeah, because you slipped him 3 totem poles.
You know, because he asked me for it.
Sweetie, you drugged the guy.
I did not.
You did. He was on the bed, passed out, drooling. She was punching him in between the legs to wake him up to get out of the bed, and he wouldn't get up. Then he comes back 4 o'clock in the morning and scales a wrought iron fence past security. They call me up in my bedroom and said, dude, got a white guy scaling the fence heading towards Andrea's room. I go in there. He's masturbating
Really?
on the side of her bed while she's laying there in her panties. I had to grab him by his face and punch him out.
I didn't see it because I was asleep. And when I'm asleep, you cannot wake me up.
No, she sleeps like a rock, dude.
So the next morning, I woke up and there was this big note beside my bed. And I was like, who's been in my room?
Yeah, he was in there. He was in there manipulating himself. I caught him flat out there, and then I took a black light to.
Why are
Andrew.
you so involved with Miss Howard Stern?
I feel for her. She's like a bimbo that I gotta help.
Well, I understand you want to give some plugs out. If you do, you want to get in the tickle chair? Do you want to be tickled?
Yeah, she's got a poster coming out. It's at XYZolar.
Well, don't give the plug yet.
sorry,
Hey,
dude.
Let her do it. Hi, this is Zolar's wife, Tara. Yes.
Hey, what's up? I just wanted to ask Andrea if it's true that she did or did not call me the night before they were leaving Vegas to come back home to say that she did have sex with my husband.
No.
This is really your wife,
I
Zolar?
did not have sex with your husband.
Well, why are you crying to me on the phone telling me you're afraid of him and that you had sex with him and you're really sorry you didn't know he was married, and then you said that you'll never talk to him again and you haven't stopped calling him yet, honey?
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Well, that's right. You know you do, don't you? Yes, you're suicidal and all that stuff. No, we really got to change that. I don't know what the heck that is. What is that? I don't know. But I'm going to change it, damn it. Yes, next week at this time. Well, no, next Monday. Yes, when we next air the fine show which you're about to indulge in today, you will hear something else besides that suicidal, homicidal thing, because I don't even know what that means. I don't. It's not a psychological call-in show with a bunch of depressed people. I'm going to kill myself. I want you to help me. No, we don't do that here because, of course, you are listening to HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, and it's 3:01 p.m. Eastern, which means, of course, yes, it is time for your coffee and cigarettes, the Friday Frappuccino, and all kinds of things today. My goodness. Today on the big show, we're looking at NASA astronaut Scott Kelly as today he embarks on a year-long space voyage. Where, you may ask? Well, stay tuned. And President Obama wants $1.2 billion for bacteria. Yes, you heard me right. And yes, he's always asking for $1.2 billion for something, isn't he? It wasn't all that long ago he was approaching Congress for a request for another $1.2 billion on something else, and now, because he didn't get it for that, he's going for bacteria now. Do you think he'll be much more successful? I don't. It's always $1.2 billion with him anyway. Also, Israel is going to start paying out Palestinian tax refunds. Huh? I don't know why, but... And, of course, we have the story for you, the dad who eats the daughter's brownies and then damn near dies of a heart attack. Yes, there was pot in the brownies. Yeah. All that and so much more on today's program. So, hey, come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up, ladies and gentlemen. It is coffee time. There it is, the happy little coffee and cigarettes theme. And why not, right? 3:03 in the afternoon right now in New York City, and currently 44 degrees Central Park, and it's cloudy. But hey, at least it's not dumping snow. Welcome to the Friday Frappuccino for this Friday the 27th of March 2015. And yeah, it's good to be here, good to be alive. Don't think I'll be eating any pot brownies anytime soon. And no, the story isn't actually about me. It's not a first-hand account at all whatsoever. Joining me in the booth today, pushing the buttons, helping make the show go, is the one, the only Jenny McCartney. Yes, kicking on that 2442 digital PreSonus broadcast mixer that she loves so much, and hell, so do I. The thing's amazing, and if you want to check that out and all of their incredible professional-grade digital audio products, check out PreSonus.com. Also, I do have to mention that this show is brought to you in part by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City. Now with 8 locations throughout that city to serve all of your coffee and baked goods needs, check them out. Tim Hortons, always fresh. And of course, Jenny was on time with the coffee today. Gotta say, good improvement there. Get back to the way it's supposed to be. Couldn't believe that. Yesterday's show started. I'm actually doing this part of the show right here, and she hasn't got my coffee yet. I almost killed her. I'm gonna force feed you pot brownies. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so welcome to the show, and I do also have to say that today's show is
powered by Procast.
Yes. And no, I don't know what that is, but hey, it's powered by Procast. There you go. You have it right there. So, new listeners, and I know we've got a ton of new listeners. Let me tell you, the metrics at HTLA Radio 1 are going through the roof on the website there because, well, we've got a bunch of celebrities coming. this next month in April. And, of course, on April 13th, we're having actor Jeremy Irvine on Straight Talk on the 13th, the Monday night there at 8 p.m., and the interweebs are going pretty nuts for this kid. If you don't know him yet, you soon will. He's Hollywood's latest up-and-comer leading man. And he does a hell of a good job, I'll tell you that. The movie, of course, that he and that we're promoting is, of course, what is that? Beyond the Reach, where it stars himself, Jeremy Irvine, and Michael Douglas. Yeah. Like, can you get any more Hollywood legend than Michael Douglas? No, you can't. And Jeremy's starring in that film with him. It's premiering, actually, this coming month, which is why we get the interview and why we'll be bringing that to everybody. But, man, yeah, the website totally going nuts with hits from all over the world. And, of course, I guess, yeah... It's pretty nutty. And then don't forget, gang, because on the 16th we're doing we're doing a big thing on the 16th. Yeah, after Jeremy Irvine, we've got Zoe Kravitz, yes, the daughter of Lenny Kravitz. She's directed her feature film, yes, she has, and we're promoting that on the 16th, along with all of its stars. And man, let me tell you, there's stars. Kira Sedgwick, yes, Kevin Bacon's beloved wife, and incredible actress of The Closer. Kira Sedgwick will be here. We've got, the T-1000, Robert Patrick. Yes, the other Terminator. We've got the old Model 101 here.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Gilbert. The old T-101 here, Mr. Arnie Schwarzenegger. He's a guest co-host / Terminator, whatever it is. The one, the only Gilbert Gottfried is here as well as always. And so is Louis Lawless of LDL Films, all the way from beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. Louis, you're there, right?
The music is fantastic. Oh, you got to hear it.
We hear the music, Louis. Yeah. And, of course, you know that cackle.
Yes.
The one, the only man himself, Gilbert Gottfried, from his sprawling penthouse in the city here. And, yes, the T-Model 101, the Terminator himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Thank you for coming to the show, sir.
I'm not going to complain about it, right?
Well, you shouldn't, because then there would be problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, those are our three boys here for the posse for the show. And, yeah, you know, I thought I was doing good with Louis and Gilbert and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And, you know, we've had Tom Cruise and all these others. But man, like, yeah, I don't know. The people at HTLA Booking are starting to pull in some pretty heavy hitters. I mean, this Jeremy Irvine guy, pretty sensational actor there. I saw him, of course, I guess about 6-8 months ago in a film with Robert Duvall, One Night in Mexico. And if you haven't had a chance to see this film yet, check it out. It is on Netflix.com. And, yeah, make it a Netflix night tonight, because Jeremy's, he's a real force. And I've been worried because, I don't know, lately Hollywood hasn't been putting out very strong leading men, but this kid, I think, has got the goods. I think he's going to be bringing it, and I think we're going to see a lot from him in many decades to come. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. Straight Talk, April 13th. Yes, at 8 p.m. Eastern, as always. So, yeah, guys, so I really got to get on with the show, but I know I'm stuck with this stupid contractual agreement for Gilbert to sing. So before I get into the show here, which we're kind of running behind, Gilbert, let's make it a little fast, shall we?
Na, 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 na. Ba, ma, 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 ma. Oh, yeah. Who wants to grow up? Who wants responsibility? Oh, no, not me. Who wants to show up and work until you're 93?
Okay, now I'll do the second verse with you in my Arnie, okay?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Now everybody says you're running wild. The teacher's calling you a problem.
Ooh. Yeah, was that good?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't too good.
Because I didn't get the Arnie. I didn't get it.
Well, it is coffee and cigarettes, so I'm having a damn cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Well, yeah, let's move on with the show. Got a big story here leading the way here. Well, it's actually really not a big story. It's just an important story, I guess, is the point of this story. I'm not sure. Astronaut Scott Kelly, yes, set to make history starting today. Now, I didn't even know we could even have astronauts to make history anymore because we don't have the shuttles anymore. But yes, there's always that Russian connection for the American dream, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, imagine being given a year to float free of gravity, to gaze down at the Earth and its changing seasons, to observe the heavens from space as few ever have. But during that time, you could not take a breath of fresh air or hug a loved one or hear the sound of falling rain. And you were confined to the office that afforded those spectacular views. It's just kind of like me around HTLA for a year.
Yes.
You know. It's not that big of a deal. Well, anyway, NASA astronaut Scott Kelly and Russian cosmonaut Mikhail Koromenko will attempt to balance those realities during a nearly year-long mission aboard the International Space Station that they will embark upon today. The space station is a magical place, says Kelly, discussing the mission earlier this month, but you never get to leave. The veteran space flyers are scheduled to blast off in a Soyuz spacecraft at 3:42 p.m. this afternoon, in just exactly 30 minutes from right now, at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, and reach their home for the next year, roughly 250 miles above the Earth, less than 6 hours later. They'll be joined for the ride, well, at least the ride up, by the cosmonaut Gennady Padalka, who will visit the orbiting research complex for a standard 6-month expedition. By doubling that mission duration for 2 crew members, for the first time on ISS, 4 cosmonauts lived for at least a year on Russia's Mir station. NASA and its partners hope to learn more about the issues astronauts might face on even longer voyages to Mars. The 1-year increment will expand the bounds of how we live and work in space and will increase our knowledge regarding the effects of microgravity on humans as we prepare for those future missions, well, beyond low Earth orbit, says Bill Gerstenmaier, head of NASA's human spaceflight programs, when the mission was first announced back in 2012. The space agencies are discussing assigning more astronauts to year-long missions. It's something Kelly, a 51-year-old father of 2 daughters, ages 20 and 11, who spent nearly 6 months on the station ending in early 2011, was not enthusiastic about at first. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't all that interested, he said, after mulling it over, talking with my family and friends and girlfriend. Girlfriend? Did he say that? Yeah, it's right here, yeah. After talking to his family, his friends, and his girlfriend. So, yeah. Sorry, wife.
Yes.
I decided that the challenges in staying in space for a whole year presented was appealing to me, even considering the sacrifices. Koronenko's wife cried upon learning about his second long space flight this time for the entire year, but later supported the decision. The 54-year-old grandfather will fly with pictures of his family and deceased parents. We have the chance to be the first to spend a whole year on the space station, and it will be of great use for future generations for science and for those who might fly further to Mars and outer space, he said, through a translator. Kelly does not conceal how difficult he expects living on the station for nearly a year, 342 days to be precise. But hopefully he'll experience nothing like the family crisis he confronted during his first expedition. Yes, that's... Oh, halfway through that flight, he learned about the shooting of his sister-in-law. Yes, and then Republican Gabby Giffords, who is married to his twin brother, former astronaut Mark Kelly. Giffords continues to recover, but that day both Kellys endured early media reports that she had died. Mark Kelly is in Central Asia right now to see his brother launch. Researchers will take advantage of the twins' involvement in the mission to study spaceflight's long-term effects. They'll compare how Scott responds over this next year in microgravity compared to his twin brother Mark, a 4-time shuttle flyer back on the ground. Months in space are known to cause loss of bone and muscle mass, weakened immune systems, and impaired vision. But the upcoming mission will track those health impacts over more time with better medical technology than was available during Russia's previous year mission plans. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this flight and flying for longer than we have before, to better understand some of the effects and how to mitigate them for our future exploration goals, says Kelly. So there you go. He's well on his way to being America's next top model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess if that's really important, go for it. I don't think that's important. Nope, not me. What I think is today's top story is our next story. Yes. And what is the next story, you may ask? Well, I'm about to tell you. President Obama wants $1.2 billion. Yeah. Now, but the important thing, though, is why he wants it. This is the really important thing. He wants it to battle bacteria.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Yeah. Arnold, you got a New Year's tip?
Well, I don't think that they need to do anything at Christmas time. I think everyone should just enjoy themselves, eat and drink and have a good time.
Yeah.
And then after, when New Year comes around, they should set a program of reducing that extra fat that they've gained. For Christmas, so do I. Okay. I'm going to have my Austrian schnapps, I'm going to ski down the slopes, and I'm going to have a great time.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I mean, that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. Thanks for that New Year's tip, brought to you by Tim Hortons, New York City. I don't know. I'd throw it in there. You kind of got to with this story, really. The Obama administration says it has a plan to combat the growing problem. Yes, because this is a growing problem. They have big protests about this in Ferguson every day. The big problem, of course, being antibiotic-resistant bacterial infections, responsible for an estimated 23,000 deaths and 2 million illnesses in the United States every year. It's actually 4% total over the Ferguson stats. Yeah. Well, the antibiotic resistance is one of the most pressing public issues facing the world today, President Obama said in an interview. Yes. The administration is proposing a series of measures to crack down on overprescribing, develop new alternative medicines, and to track infection outbreaks in real time, quoting him as saying, "'Cause it'll be fun."
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be just like the movies, you know. Part of that $1.2 billion will go to his special room with big screens to monitor that in real time. Yeah.
I think you have sharks in both tanks.
Well, we do, yeah. What's remarkable is that the federal government never had a plan like this before. It's something I just came up with last Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. It's a growing problem, says Eric Lander, co-chairman of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Quote, now there's something concrete to point to, and you're going to have to hold your feet to the fire to make sure this all gets done. Well, no, if I had $1.2 billion, I wouldn't need to hold anybody's feet to any fire to get things done. It wouldn't. No. You just give Louis his $25,000.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Yes.
Yes, and then I go and get it done because I have $1.2 billion. Oh, yes, that's it. The efforts are not without a cost, Obama proposed. 2016 budget asks Congress to double the funding for combating and preventing antibiotic resistance to more than $1.2 billion. I'm pretty shocked that we were spending $600 million last year. Yeah. Well, there are parts of this plan that we can implement on our own right now, and whatever we can act without Congress, we will, Obama said. I do have that pen, after all. But to get the whole job done, we need Congress to step the F up. Well, the administration released its plan yesterday, 6 months after Obama signed an executive order declaring the issue, of course, a national security matter. Yes, among the strategies being proposed, rein the misuse of antibiotics. The plan calls for improving prescribing practices among doctors and veterinarians. It will also prohibit the use of certain medically important antibiotics in livestock production by the end of 2016. We're going to supplement those injections with things like cyanide to help them taste better. Yeah. It will be illegal to use those antibiotics. Illegal, I say. It's not a suggestion, said Lander, a biology professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Increasing monitoring, hospitals receiving Medicare funding will be required to submit data on antibiotic use and resistance, and the government will establish a regional laboratory to test bacteria specimens. Ideally, we'd like to be able to see in real time where cases of drug resistance are being reported so we can take swift action, Obama tells us. The same goes for rates of antibiotic use. And the proposed site of the government laboratory to test the bacteria specimens is just north of New Orleans at the Bioterror Monkey Laboratory. Yeah. There you go. They got a deal on the land there. I'm thinking that's a hell of a smoking deal.
Yes.
Yeah. Real estate rules.
Yeah.
Well, moving on today. What's going on in Jerusalem? That's just what I was thinking,
yes.
Right? Yeah. Hey guys, what's going on in Jerusalem?
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Yes, thank you, Louis, for the same thing you say every day. Yeah.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right, well, moving on. Okay, I'm going. In Jerusalem today, Israel says it will resume the transfer of Palestinian tax revenues that it has been withholding as punishment for unilateral Palestinian actions. Yes, that great social media search engine, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, said today that the decision was made following the recommendation of Israel's security establishment and because of humanitarian considerations. They mean well. Well, earlier this year, Israel withheld tax transfers it collects for the cash-strapped government of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas after he joined the International Criminal Court, a move potentially paving the way for war crimes investigations and the war crimes investigation of Israel itself. That and other moves prompted Abbas to complain that Israel had eroded the authority of his self-rule government in the West Bank to the point where it has no real power at all. Netanyahu says in a current Mideast climate, Israel must act responsibly and thoughtfully. Yes, so all you Palestinians out there, get ready because you're about to get your tax refund. Yeah. What do you think, Arnold? Is that a good move for them?
Everyone was basically, laughing at me, at those ideas, and which was okay for me because there was one thing that I had, that is a very clear vision of my goal.
Yeah, Louis had a clear vision once. He was up for an Academy Award.
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award. and we didn't. Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. That's good news for the old Palestinians there. And, man, I don't think I could have gone on with my day without having that story. No.
Yeah.
It's too important to let go by.
When
you
you
know?
say that, you get away with it. If I would say that, it would be all over the place.
Yes.
Well, then, Governor, it's a good thing you didn't say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about it, right?
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Well, more great news from the Middle East coming up on our next story here in Sana'a, Yemen. Saudi and Egyptian warships deployed today to the Bab al-Manab Strait off Yemen. Isn't that cool? Bab al-Hanab. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should spend $1.2 billion on getting them to rename shit so it sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Strait off Yemen there to secure the strategic sea passage, Egyptian military officials said, as a Saudi-led coalition widened its strikes on the second day of an air campaign against Shiite rebels and their allies, aiming to pave the way for possible ground operations. A top priority after the air campaign has weakened the rebels is for coalition troops, likely Egyptians, to move into the southern port city of Aden, a main stronghold of supporters of President Rabo Mansur Hadi, who was forced to leave the country as the rebels and their allies moved in on the city. Yemeni and Egyptian military officials said that Hadi arrived in Egypt Friday, where Arab leaders will be meeting to discuss the crisis in further detail. That could prove a tough prospect. Today, rebel fighters and their allies, military units loyal to former President Ali Abdullah Saleh, are moving through southern Abayan province towards Aden, aiming to reinforce their fighters already in the city. Yemeni security officials, at the same time, pro-Hadi military units and militiamen were fighting rebel forces in street battles in several southern cities today. The events today and the comments by military officials who spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because they just don't have the authority to speak. Well, they gave an initial picture of Saudi and Egyptian plans in the conflict that abruptly burst into regional fights on Thursday after months of chaos within Yemen. Saudi Arabia and its allies are aiming to push back the Shiite rebels known as Houthis and Saleh's forces, which have taken over the capital Sana'a and much of the mountainous, impoverished nation. The ultimate goal is to restore Hadi, who was expected to arrive in Egypt on Friday for an Arab summit the following day. Saudi Arabia fears the Houthis will give the Shiite powerhouse Iran a new foothold on its southern border. This is all too damn complicated for me. I'm just telling you, Houthis and Saleh and all these guys. I'm really confused and, well, really bottom line, gang. I don't care.
Which woman are you married to or living with now? The same one? The mother of the daughter, or was it a boy?
Boy, girl, it doesn't matter anymore, Louis, because we're all gender fluid. Yeah. Well, listen, gang, we're going to go for our first commercial break, and when we come back, I'll tell you about, more exciting stuff here in Saudi Arabia, of course, because it's exciting. And we'll get into, some better stories. I know there's better stories. The dad pot brownie thing's pretty good. Back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions? abundant with rich, fertile soil. What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons, always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slick back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out, we never style, we never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
I mean, Hollywood is not pretty. I mean, there's some cutthroat going on there, and it's a very dangerous place, actually. And, it's in anything. If you want to be the best, you have to really fight for it, and you have to struggle and have to go through your ups and downs, and you fall often. It's not just like all victories. There's a lot of defeats, and then victories again, and defeats, and you pick yourself up again and get up and get going. And I'm very fortunate that now, after I've finished the governorship, that I've done 4 movies, and now Last Stand is my first action film that I'm starring in it.
Wow, did you take a breath in there?
Yeah.
Wow.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did. and put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know. So what's the email address?
Yeah, whatever. Nice trying to get over it there. I'm not a transsexual. No. Well, welcome back to the big program today, the Coffee and Cigarettes Friday Frappuccino on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. For this Friday, the 27th of March, 2015, where it is 44 degrees right now in Central Park and cloudy, not raining, just cloudy. And I'm looking forward to Monday. It's supposed to be 51. It's supposed to actually break 50.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm stunned.
And I finally figured out how to edit.
Okay. Good. That's a good thing for the guy who taught me film and television production 22 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to do it, but I guess we have to do it. Get back to this stupid frickin' story. Yeah, the old Yemenis. Yes, Yemeni Foreign Minister Reed Yassin said there was an arrangement for ground troops of the Saudi-led coalition to deploy in Yemen. It's a comprehensive military operation, he told the Saudi-owned Al Arabiya news channel. He said the Egyptian naval forces are heading to Bab al-Manab. Yeah. We are going to Bab al-Manab. Yes. Just call it the damn water, okay? We're going out to the water over there. There you go. That's where we're going. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Well, several Egyptian military officials told the AP that Egyptian and Saudi warships were already at or near the strait. One official said 2 destroyers and 2 other vessels they made out of cardboard were at the strait. Egypt has said securing the passage is a priority for it in the conflict, since Bab al-Manab is the entrance to the Red Sea leading from the Arabian Sea to the Suez Canal, a vital route for shipping between Europe and Asia, of course.
Yes.
Now, after more than 36 years of 36 hours, not years. Yes, after more than 36 years of airstrikes, I don't know. Well, by this afternoon, more than 40% of Yemen's air defenses have been destroyed, according to Yemeni Brigadier General Salah al-Sabathi, a pro-Houthi officer. Yeah. Houthi, I'm confused. See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying I'm confused. Yemeni security officials said around 80 fighters have been killed in the strikes, some of the Houthis, but most from among Salah's forces. The officials spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to talk to the press. Of course, we knew that. Yeah. The first salvo of airstrikes before dawn Thursday also killed, well, yeah, you're going to have that, 18 civilians, yeah. But it's okay because, we're going to take the Strait of Ali Babi Booby and we're going to keep that oil flowing.
Yes.
That's what it's really all about. Diminishing Salah's forces is a key step before any ground action can happen. Salah, who ruled Yemen with an autocratic hand for decades, is removed in 2012 following an Arab Spring popular uprising against him. They always uprise in spring, don't they?
Yeah.
I hate that, Well, Salah remained in Yemen and maintained widespread influence, particularly in the fragmented military and security forces. One Yemeni security official today estimated that 70% of the military does remain loyal to him, including many of the best trained and equipped units, and they are, well, this is stupid. I'm done. The Yemeni this and the other dudes over there. Yes. They got cardboard destroyers. Don't you screw with us. And yeah, it's all crap. Don't worry. The gas prices will soar this summer as expected. Yeah. Well, let's get on to some real important news, like this next one that's coming to us from Nigeria.
Yes.
I like the way I say Nigeria.
Yeah.
Well, in Abuja, Nigeria, Baba Ibrahim's belief that President Goodluck Jonathan, I love that name. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to be president of a country in Africa. Well, good luck, Jonathan. Yeah. Well, good luck. Jonathan has, of course, failed to stem Boko Haram's rampage throughout the country, and it could spell defeat in the presidential election, which is being held tomorrow. We saw them come into town riding on several motorcycles and shooting in the air, says Ibrahim, 35. That's just what they do. Yes, them bad guys. Yeah. And I know Arnold knows that. He's always fighting the bad guys in his movie.
Yes.
And, of course, when the bad guys show up in, well, pretty much any of Arnold's movies, with I think the exception of Predator, they always come in riding motorcycles, shooting in the air, don't they?
I think you need that in order to be successful, in order to really be extraordinary in the profession that you do.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, recalling when these militants overran his hometown in northern Nigeria last year, Ibrahim says that they rode into the market and that was filled to capacity with people, shooting and killing indiscriminately. I guess that's what makes them the bad guys. Yeah. Nigerian troops liberated the town back in January, but Boko Haram fighters who want to establish a caliphate in West Africa are still on the rampage throughout the region. Ibrahim, who escaped from their clutches, fled to Abuja, won't return home until the Nigerian army decisively defeats them. And we expect that to occur somewhere in 2160. Yeah. So good luck getting home there in 2160.
Yes.
On Friday, Nigeria's military claimed to destroy the headquarters of Boko Haram in northeastern Gauza town, but it was not possible to verify the victory. The Associated Press reported, further adding that it was a local McDonald's. And it's good to know, that nothing flourishes in Africa, but McDonald's does. Yeah. Now, getting on to the probably the most important story of this show today on Coffee and Cigarettes, your Friday Frappuccino. Friday. Yes, the dad who ate the daughter's pot brownies thought he had a stroke. Yes. This occurred, of course, in Independence, Michigan township today. A dad thought he was having a stroke after eating several brownies that his teenage daughter had baked the previous night for the school's cakewalk. Yeah. Well, the 58-year-old man didn't know the sweet treats contained a psychoactive ingredient, marijuana. Firefighters and deputies responded to a medical call yesterday at the home about 40 miles northwest of Detroit. After police arrived, the man's 17-year-old daughter admitted to baking the pot brownies. However, she didn't know where the ingredients came from. Yeah. Officials did not release the names of the father and daughter. However, Betty Crocker was implicated. Though medical marijuana has been legal in the state for qualified patients since 2008, it doesn't include pot brownie's asshole. Yes, possession of pot by others in any amount is a misdemeanor that can lead to a jail term of up to 1 year and a fine of up to $2,000, according to the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, better known as normal. Get to the chopper and smoke the weed is normal.
No, I mean, to me, I always was the kind of guy that enjoyed working out 5 hours a day, but when I walk out of the gym, that's it. And I wanted to play, I wanted to have a good time.
Well, then who doesn't?
Yes.
Well, 17 other states in the District of Columbia have decriminalized marijuana possession, according to the nonprofit, which lobbies to legalize marijuana. The father was taken to St. Joseph's Hospital in Pontiac, Michigan, according to the sheriff's office. The remaining brownies were taken into the lab for analysis. Yeah. And an investigation is, of course, underway. Officials had not determined Friday whether the girl would be charged with severely, extremely illegal baking. There you go. And I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the kind of stories of coffee and cigarettes that just wake up and smell the brownies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What am I doing now? Oh, yes. The next story.
Always with a female
No.
having a relationship, married or anything, it's always better that they do the leaving.
Yes.
If you do the leaving, it creates that lingering thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, we do. Yeah. We do.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, now, this is kind of, this is the thing, babies. This is the thing. In relationships, I know, Arnold, you certainly knew, when, your wife found out you were banging the maid. You're certainly familiar with domestic fights, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, and you are married. No, you're not married. No, she left your ass, didn't she?
I'm married.
No.
Yeah, I'm not divorced yet.
Oh, okay. Well, probably by the end of this show you will be. Yeah. Well, anyway, our next story takes us right to domestic bliss wonderland. Yes, the domestic abuse. Domestic this, domestic that. Oh, it's so terrible. He called me a name. I'm going to kick him in the balls.
When you say that, you get away with it. If I would say that, it would be all over the place.
Well, I can say that, and I did say that. And if you'd like, I could say that in your voice. Yeah, okay.
Well, we're going to have a domestic dispute.
Yes.
We're going to have it. It's going to be awesome, and we're going to get all the dollars. And I'm going to divorce her and take her for all she's worth.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you like that?
Never. No.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Well, I know you did. Yeah, of course. You always do. Well, moving on to the story. The husband dies. Yes, he's dead. After grabbing the steering wheel during a fight with the old missus there. Yeah. In Houston, Texas today, a man was killed after grabbing the steering wheel of a car that his wife was driving as they argued, police said. The Ford Explorer rolled over just around 1:45 this morning on Interstate 69, and the man who was not wearing a seatbelt was ejected. He was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition and later died, according to the Houston Police Department. The likely cause is feminism. Yeah. Names of the couple who had moved recently to Houston were not released because Houston just doesn't want to be embarrassed like that. Well, I don't blame them. The woman who was wearing her seatbelt told officers that she and her husband were having a heated argument. The female didn't have any injuries. Sergeant J.D. Rossman said she was evaluated by a DUI officer and found not to be intoxicated, just effing pissed. Well, her husband grabbed the wheel from the passenger seat and jerked it, she said to investigators. The vehicle swerved. She lost control. It climbed over the median onto oncoming traffic and rolled over, landing on an adjacent access road. She was trapped inside until rescuers were able to extricate her and was taken to hospital in stable condition. No charges are expected to be filed, Rossman said, because, quote, I don't want to piss her off. Yeah. There you go. And oh, man, really? Oh, Jesus. I don't know what it is with the stories today. We've had the brownie story. That was good, right? And we had I think this last one was pretty good, too.
Yes.
But now what are we? We're getting slammed again with more serious news. More Al-Shabaab militants. Yeah. Well, at least 9 are dead as militants today attack a hotel in Somalia. Now, I'm kind of surprised. After Black Hawk Down, why the hell are there hotels in Somalia? Yeah. Well, al-Shabaab militants blasted their way into a Mogadishu hotel and took positions inside, exchanging fire with security forces. You know, if your hotel needs security forces, that's something that you might want to include on TripAdvisor.com.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. At least 4 gunmen had trapped an unknown number of people inside the building, says Captain Mohammed Hussein. Yes, Al-Shabaab, the Al-Qaeda-linked Islamic extremist group that has carried out many attacks here, claimed responsibility for the assault on the Mecca Al-Marakamaka Hotel. Yes, let's get that right so that you can book today. That's the Mecca Al-Makurama Hotel. There you go. There you go. Which is, of course, here you go. It's popular with Somali government officials and foreigners. Yeah. Yes, the foreigners always love that one. Yes, it's got its own security forces. Yeah. The attack started when a suicide bomber detonated himself at the gate of the hotel. The gunman then quickly moved in, according to Hussein, who said that he had counted at least 9 bodies at the scene. The death toll is likely to rise as security forces attempt to regain control of the hotel. It remained unclear who was being targeted by the militants and how many civilians were inside the hotel when the attack was launched. Al-Shabaab, I keep wanting to say shish kebab. Yeah. Al-Shish Kebab, routinely carries out suicide bombings, drive-by shootings, and other assorted specialties. Pop by their website at alshabab.com. Yes, other specialties, yes. Yes, and other specialties in Mogadishu. The seat of Somalia's Western-backed government, often targeting government troops, lawmakers, and foreigners alike. Al-Shabaab controlled much of Mogadishu between 2007 and 2011, but was pushed out of Somalia's capital and other major cities by African Union forces. Despite major setbacks in 2014, Al-Shabaab continues to wage a deadly insurgency against Somalia's government and remains a threat in the Eastern African region. The group has carried out attacks in neighboring countries, including Kenya, whose military is part of the African Union troops bolstering Somalia's weak government. At least 67 people were killed in the September 2013 attack by Al-Shabaab on a mall in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi. I love it when a plan comes together, don't you? Oh, it's just nutty. I don't know what the hell that is at all. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why do we? Well, no, I'm not even going to go there. I don't have enough time, and
yes.
It's stupid, and just not going to go there.
When you say that, you get away with it. If I would say that, it would be all over the place.
You'd be strung up and kicked in the balls. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. See, we're all in agreement about that. Well, moving on to the final story of this afternoon's Coffee and Cigarettes before we let you all go for the lovely weekend.
Yes.
We got some news out of Rome. Lawyer for Knox's ex-boyfriend makes final court appeal. Yes, lawyers for Amanda Knox's ex-boyfriend made a final appeal to Italy's top criminal court Friday, urging it to overturn the pair's murder conviction for the 2007 slaying of Knox's roommate, saying there was errors of colossal proportions in the guilty verdicts. I actually remember this case. It's there's actually a really good documentary on Yeah, Netflix. That's
Yes.
it. Yeah, them.
Yeah.
Check that out. Attorney Giulia Bogimio dissected the 2014 Florence Appeals Court decision to show what she said were numerous errors to the fact and logic that resulted in prison sentences of 28 and a half years for Knox and 25 years for Raphael Salicio in the death of a student, Meredith Kirshner. Judges at the High Court of Cassation began deliberating shortly after noon, and a decision could come as late as today. A decision to confirm the convictions could result in an extradition request by Italy for Knox, who is currently free in the United States. Knox has vowed never to willingly return to Italy. In her closing arguments, Bogimo said that Knox's original statement to police, which was never entered as evidence, was later changed, exonerated her client. Knox, who along with Kirshner had been studying in the university town of Pergua, had initially accused the Congolese bar owner of the murder. She also told investigators that she was home the night that Kirshner was killed and had to cover her ears to drown out her screams. Yes, Bongiormo.
Yes.
I'm just going to go with Bongi Boom Boom. Yeah. Yes, Bongi Boom Boom said she believed Knox's statement was coerced, but that even if the High Court chooses to consider it, Solicito figures nowhere in her story. Wow, I don't know if it's just that I can't read today or if these stories are actually not making any sense whatsoever. This doesn't even, it doesn't, yeah, I'm sorry I've pained you with this.
Yes.
It's not... it's not very cool. Anyhow, we got to get the heck out of here. Time is up, and I need a vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to thank the one, the only Louis Lawless for being here today. Louis, it's great to have you as always.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, good. And Gilbert, of course, thank you for being here. You saved my bacon today, sure.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
Yes, and thank you. And, of course, Arnold. Didn't get a whole lot out of you today. I know I didn't go back to you a lot, but what can I do? Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and I'll be back.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Yeah. And for the rest of us, be sure to check out HTLA Radio, #1.com, HTLARadio1.com, and keep plowing the hits on there. And, we'll bring you Jeremy Irvine and Zoe Kravitz and Kira Sedgwick and Robert Patrick, and the list is going on and on and on. There's more bookings actually happening as I speak. And we'll be sure to release those names and those dates for you as soon as we have those available. To the rest of you out there, thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. And we will catch you next week, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, for the Monday Mocha and another coffee and cigarettes. Have a good weekend.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.